At my brother's wedding, his bride told me I wasn't welcome, so I took back the honeymoon tickets and left. Sarah stood there in her designer dress, practically glowing with satisfaction as she delivered the news. "We've decided this is family only now," she announced, her voice carrying across the reception hall loud enough for half the guests to hear. My own parents shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. My brother David, who I'd helped through college and bailed out of trouble more times than I could count, wouldn't even meet my eyes. What Sarah didn't know was that those honeymoon tickets weren't just any tickets. They were for the mountain cabin I own in Colorado that I'd been letting them use for free. I'm a park ranger, and 3 years ago I inherited my grandmother's remote wilderness cabin after she passed. David had been begging me for months to let them honeymoon there. "Come on, Meg, it would mean everything to us," he'd pleaded over Sunday dinner at Mom's house. Sarah's never seen real mountains before. I'd said yes because he's my brother and I wanted him to be happy. I'd even planned to stock the cabin with their favorite foods and champagne. But Sarah had been systematically pushing me out of their lives for the past 6 months. First, she uninvited me from wedding planning sessions, claiming I was too involved in their decisions. Then she started telling David I was controlling and jealous of their happiness. She convinced him to change the bachelor party plans I'd helped organize, saying my ideas were too outdoorsy for their friends. She made snide comments about my single status at family dinners, asking when I was going to find my own happiness instead of living through theirs. She even suggested I needed therapy to deal with my unhealthy attachment to my brother during Thanksgiving dinner last year. "Maybe Megan needs to focus on her own life instead of living through ours," she'd say with that fake concerned voice, touching David's arm like she was protecting him from me. The worst part was David started believing her. He stopped calling me as much, stopped asking for my advice, started making excuses when I invited him to our usual hiking trips. I'd tolerated it all for David's sake. But this, publicly humiliating me at his own wedding, this was the final straw. Standing there in that reception hall, watching Sarah savor my humiliation while our entire family watched in uncomfortable silence, something inside me snapped. I pulled out my phone and called my property manager. "Hey Tom, it's Megan. Remember that booking for the party next week? Cancel it immediately. And I need you to change all the locks tomorrow morning first thing." Sarah overheard my conversation and her confident smile started to falter. "Wait, what booking?" she asked, her voice rising an octave. I turned to face her, matching her fake sweet tone perfectly. "Oh, didn't David tell you? The beautiful mountain cabin you're planning to honeymoon at for 2 weeks? The one with the private lake and hot tub? The one you've been posting about on Instagram for months? It's mine." The color drained from David's face. "Megan, you can't be serious." "Dead serious." I slipped my phone back into my purse. "You wanted family only? Well, my cabin is family only too. And apparently, I'm not family anymore." Sarah was panicking now, her perfectly applied makeup starting to smudge. "But we don't have anywhere else to go. Everything's booked for the holidays." "Should have thought of that before you decided I wasn't welcome at my own brother's wedding." I started walking toward the exit, then paused and turned back with a smile. The entire reception had gone dead silent. 200 guests watched as I walked out of that hall with my head held high. David called me 17 times that night. I didn't answer a single one. They ended up spending their honeymoon at a Motel 6 off the interstate. Sarah posted 0 photos on Instagram that week. Maybe next time they'll think twice before kicking family out of their own celebrations. Best $400,000 lesson I ever taught.